Sean, were we once again in our existential Caddyshack nightmare? Yes. Said it might be?
It could be squirrels.
Could be squirrels.
There were some squirrel bites in the wires.
We had all the wires replaced from speculum. Do you need some lube? Feet in the stirrups. Do you remember those commercials, Travis?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the it's all going to be better now.
Uh-huh.
We've taken over from Slime Porner.
Yeah, the Spectrum guide told me it's not better.
Oh, also, rain is no bueno.
Right.
I don't water, squirrels, something.
Yeah?
Okay, so it's a magical morning. So thank you for your tribute to Sean, who's having a nervous breakdown, but we're on vacation next week.
Right, so he'll be
Okay.
much better then.
All right.
He changed a diaper
and
over
Sean
the
was
weekend.
here how many hours? And like a little bird, I just brought him pumpkin seeds.
Why didn't you just leave
like
Shane?
like a bird that flew into my window. I'm like, Sean, I'm sorry. He was here like all day.
You should have told Shane to stay all day and he could
Yeah.
have gone home.
Yes, Sean's alter ego. Look, no more critter trouble,
there we
Jamie.
go.
Oh, there's the pumpkin seeds are still here.
Figure I'll work on them all week. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
He changed his first diaper over the weekend.
I did.
Excuse me. Is there something you want to tell Mommy? Whose diaper?
My girlfriend is an aunt.
Oh, that's exciting. I thought it wasn't mine because that's bad.
And it
'cause
wasn't
I might have
mine
forgotten.
either.
I might
it
have forgotten.
wasn't mine either.
And
And,
you
it wasn't
paused?
Jess's either. It was her.
Okay.
Yeah, Steffi's eyes got a little wide because at first she said my girlfriend, and then Steffi's like, huh?
Wow.
Is an aunt.
Jess has gone downhill since she worked here. Yikes. Sorry, Sean. Okay, so Jody, where should we start? I know people are like, stop talking about that Donald Trump cake. Stop talking about it. But this is just what happens. Is there's just this mountain? We knew this would happen, right? And it's still probably only the tip of it, the mountain of criminality and corruption and whatever. Oh, could I have my mob music? Because it looks, I don't know, Alan Weisselberg.
I know, he's still talking to him. Is he going to flip?
Well, it's so mobby. Does it
is.
get mobbier than this? So Trump is going into Trump Tower to keep an eye on Weisselberg. So Weisselberg's still going to work. So please, God, unless he's wearing a wire. But someone was saying, like, we'll talk to Frank Laguzzi, but like, whatever they're doing now could also be obstruction.
Right.
And whatever if they're talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it looks like they're so mobby that people are like, Trump's been Russian mobbed up forever. Maybe he's more afraid of the Russian mob than prison.
Maybe.
So I'm like, you're going to go to prison for this? Which
It's
mob
witness
music is
tampering
this?
potentially
Which
too.
mob music is this?
Theme to the Sopranos.
Sopranos.
Oh, good choice. He was tired of The Godfather. I understand. And then in comes to the picture, Matty the Squid's back. Did you know there was a Matty the Squid Jr.?
I did not know.
That's my favorite. Matty the Squid, little Matty the Squid Jr. There's, it's one of the little smaller deformed ones that the breading doesn't stick to.
It's those tentacle things that are like weird and you don't.
Right.
So we'll ask Frank Laguzzi, who will join us in a bit, because they've been advised to get their own lawyers because they were using
Right.
the Trump Organization liar. So that might be a
Liars,
flippy
lawyers.
sign. I thought that was a joke, just when we thought it couldn't get mobbier and more. Matty the Squid. Hey, no, used to be Trump's bodyguard.
Matty the Squid Jr.
Because I know
shows
he
up.
tackled someone once at the U.S. Open. That was his job. That's what qualified him to be a Trump thug, I guess. How you doing?
Yeah.
Little Matty the Squid Jr. How you doing? You're too little. You need a little more manigot. Maybe some pasta fagool. No one likes a little deformed squid. Okay. All right. I'm done.
I'm just going to let you roll.
Donna
Well,
roll, let her
she's
do it.
rolling.
You're here, so that's why things get weird, because you are an enabler. You're a weirdness enabler. I don't drink anymore, so you're drinking for two now, you and me. But also, you just enable my weirdness by being too supportive.
I'm sorry. Should I stop?
We talked about this at her party, Travis, because she had a lifetime of watching Vicki Lawrence. She's literally the best sidekick anywhere.
Yes.
Ask Bob Seska. She just gives you enough rope to
Hang yourself.
to weird hang yourself. Exactly. All right. So Obama was obviously talking. He does not usually
No, he
speak
doesn't.
out. So
America,
you in danger, girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have another? Yes. President Obama yesterday.
In the aftermath of an insurrection with our democracy on the line, and many of these same Republican senators going along with the notion that somehow there were irregularities and problems with legitimacy in our most recent election, they're suddenly afraid to even talk about these issues and figure out solutions on the floor of the Senate.
Yes. So where are we after this Kyrsten Sinema op-ed? I just can't.
Your girlfriend?
I've dated her, not her specifically, but someone exactly like her. I was like, yeah. Oh, God. What did I say? Didn't I say this? She's going to be the problem.
Uh-huh.
Even Manchin's showing like, a sliver, like reforming it or
Yeah,
whatever.
going to the Norm Ornstein, Al Franken version, which is what I
Jody,
like.
super hot, super smart, super pain in the ass.
Make good choices, Stephanie. Make good choices.
Also bisexual. Done it twice. Okay, let's move on. Just saying. She just can't decide between filibuster and democracy. Filibuster, democracy. She's too fluid. Okay. I'm going to move.
Not fluid
I'm
enough,
in a
actually.
state. I'm
You
in
are in a state.
And also, Jody knows too much of my personal history, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Ari Berman said the GOP is using simple party line majorities at the state level to take away democracy from millions of people, while Democrats are insisting upon bipartisanship to protect democracy. I mean,
No.
she even acknowledged, like, they're probably going to do it. Mitch McConnell's going to do it.
Of course
when
he
they're
would.
back in control. Like, there was, oh, God, Travis, how about this Politico piece about how Democrats are just surrendering on the gerrymandering? They're being fair. They're playing fair.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to do, a bipartisan commission like it should be.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm like, Republicans aren't going to disarm. They're going to us with no lube, sideways on the state level. That's what's happening. They're like on the state level with voting.
Yep.
Is we're going to use sideways with spikes and no lube and a
Cactus.
right. Thank you.
Cactus.
Yeah, and we're like polite chipmunks. We're like, oh, okay, we're going to turn this over to a bipartisan independent commission who will draw fair lines so that everyone can live in a democracy. No, that's not the fight we're in, right?
I know.
I'm sorry, I'm screaming at you.
I'm going to just be over here.
It's not technically your fault, but you are here.
It's your fault, Jody, now.
It's always my fault.
Just
Blame me.
Which part do we want to talk about first? Trump wanting to put all of us with COVID at Gitmo, or
That was fun.
trying to sit government lawyers on Saturday Night Live? Which particular wild abuse of power, human rights, would you like to talk about first? Oh. We mentioned this yesterday. I just had time to lightly skim it.
Now you know the details.
Cup
Yeah.
it.
Okay, also, it's in Cuba. We don't own Don't we own an island somewhere we can...
Oh, my.
Is there anything that would surprise you?
Is that what he wanted to buy
things-
Greenland for?
That's why I wanted to buy Greenland.
To put the...
Not the precious minerals, but to
How
put
many
the-
millions of us had it? That'd have to be a big island. I don't think we have an island that big. Okay. I don't... Whatever music you like, Sean. I know you're fragile this morning. Trump's dysfunctional response to the worst global health crisis in more than 100 years is the focus of a new book. It's called Nightmare Scenario: Inside the Trump Administration's Response to the Pandemic That Changed History. Yes, he wanted to quarantine infected Americans at Guantanamo.
As you do.
Just don't. Legal, not moral? I don't. Okay. He, right. He asked, do we have an island that we own? What about Guantanamo? In Cuba, don't own it. Terrorists are... Okay. Kushner had a meltdown after learning about the delay in masked shipments. That was several thousand F-ups ago.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Okay, here we go. Oh, when he was told there'd be a delay in shipments of protective face masks, which wouldn't be available till June, Kushner said, "You moron, we'll all be dead by June." Okay.
I feel like it was more of a scream when he said it, though.
Trump. Right. Trump feared that COVID testing would cause him to lose the election.
It did.
Right. We obviously weren't doing enough testing, but
Right.
He believed the U.S. was doing too much. He said, "Testing is killing me. I'm going to lose the election because of testing." What idiot had the federal government do testing? That idiot would be Jared, who was in charge of it then, who was also screwing that up, but he was in charge of it, so that would be the idiot.
Yeah.
Right. next to you. Okay. No one knew exactly who was in charge. Trump administration's COVID response so chaotic, it was hard to know who was in charge. One of the biggest flaws in the Trump administration response, one insider said, is that no one was in charge. Was it Dr. Birx? Ugh.
No.
The task force coordinator? Was it Pence, head of the task force? Was it Trump, the boss? Was it Kushner running the shadow task force until he wasn't? Mark Meadows, often, or Mark Short, often at odds, rarely in sync. Ultimately, there was no accountability, and the response was
I have an answer.
rudderless.
Yes, it was all bad.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Is the
Thank-
answer to who was in charge.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. But who's on first? Mark Meadows also berated a top official when there was a delay in the rollout of remdesivir. Remember that? Everyone's going to have it. It's going to be free. Everyone's going to have it tomorrow. It's all going to be free. He reportedly screamed, I'm going to fire your ass if you can't fix this. That was the response that turned into a toxic environment in which no matter where you turned, someone was ready to rip your head off or threatening to fire you. Okay. Yeah, it was a well-oiled machine. Just as we suspected.
And people voted for him.
Right. And then he
Again.
wanted to use the Justice Department against, SNL, as you do, because that's not also legal. Or remember that tweet? Where was the tweet? Remember when we used to have real announcements from the office of the 45th president? But it was actually on Twitter? Right.
That's my favorite part.
Should the Federal Election Commission or the FCC look into this? That was his tweet. He was serious. He wasn't just saying he was serious.
very
Yeah,
serious.
he was very serious. And okay. Also, other late night shows as well. He was obsessed with being mocked by late night comics and asked administration officials to bring legal pressure to stop it. It was told there was no legal mechanism.
Oh, my Lord.
Could I have the tiniest of violins, please? Oh, my God. How close were we to an airstrike on Rockefeller Center? The internal discussions that followed between the former leader of the free world and some of his political and legal advisors once again underscored how much Trump wanted to use the full weight and power of the U.S. government to punish his political enemies. Trump asked advisors and lawyers about the FCC, the court system, most confusingly to Trump lieutenants, the Department of Justice could do to probe or mitigate SNL or Jimmy Kimmel or other late night. In early 2019, Trump had to be repeatedly advised the equal time rules to which he appeared to refer did not even apply in this situation, given their satire. Ask your mom. And thus not bound by the same requirements as other. Anyone knows that. Okay. As other. Can someone, he said, can something else be done about it?
Oh, my God.
Only to be mollified by an aide with, we'll look into it. Do you know how many times someone said that to him?
Every
Like,
day.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a good thing he did not know about the sexy liberal
Pops
comedy tour last
on
year.
a popsicle stick. We'll look into it, sir. No one looked into. They did not look into it.
Computer says no.
No one looked into it. Okay. Okay. That may be why you wanted to buy Greenland. You are correct, to put the COVID patients. And then I think an airstrike was discussed on 30 Rock.
Why would he put us there with all the valuable minerals?
That from Greenland?
I definitively can't say definitively.
You can't say definitively how many valuable
They got a
minerals.
lot of valuable minerals.
I speculate that Wilbur, what's his name? No, Larry Kudlow was ever able to speculate definitively because of the amount of liquid libation.
I can't say definitively this morning.
You can never say definitively.
No, you cannot. All right, Charlie Pierce, Frank Laguzzi, all coming up 21 minutes after the hour. I mean, do we even need to do a commercial for the Steph store? I mean, the shirts are flying off the right. Look at this. Look at it. Get your face
Look
up
at
there.
that.
Get your face up there. Look. We have them for Team Pfizer, Team J&J. We are all Team Vaccine here. We have amazing.
That's right.
And you can get it on everything. Right, Chris? Not just shirts.
Bath mats, shower curtains. You can get it on art, a clock. You can get
Duvet.
a sexy bomb on a clock.
We have Stephanie Miller swag. We have sexy liberal swag. And, of course, all the vaccine shirts. Get it now. StephanieMiller.com. Whee!